with Raynet. My name's Carl Davies. I'm from Raynet, and I'm here with my colleague Michael, and he's here to look after any questions that you've got. So feel free to write any questions that you have, put them in the chat, and he'll respond whilst I'm going through the Raynet CRM. In terms of timing, we are going to be together for the next 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to show you some steps through the Raynet CRM, which will help you navigate easier, through the CRM. And I will share with you my screen, so you're going to see exactly what I'm doing as well. So let me just share my screen with you right now. Now, the first page I want to show you is this. This is with the website. So when you log onto the Raynet CRM, you're going to see this page.
Try once again. You're not sharing.
Okay, so I've been told this is why it's great to be with colleagues. I haven't managed to share my screen. Let me try it again. Let's see if this works.
Hide.
And then hide. And there we go. And you should see right now, you should see the website. Yes, you do. Okay, good. Lovely. Thanks a lot, Michael, for your help. It's good to have support here, which is pretty much what Raynet is like as a company. Look, when you go to the Raynet website, this is what you're going to see. And if you haven't used Raynet before, you can go right over here to the top right-hand corner and try for free. And what will happen is when you try for free, just put in your login details and you'll go through some online tutorials just to help you get started. Now, for some people, security is one of the first questions that they ask. They're asking about the security of Raynet. So let me just take you through that. And you can see that as I'm moving my mouse across the screen where you'll find the information. So I'll click on the security, and what we have is Raynet uses one of the largest, most modern IT infrastructures in the world, and that's the Amazon Web Services, and they're ranked as one of the best. They can withstand critical situations, natural disasters, massive hacker attacks, all these sort of things. So it's quite stable. In terms of the security of the app, simply what you're using for your bank is similar to what's being used with Raynet. Now, what's important is to make sure that you yourselves only have the authorized personnel have access to the groups of information, because that'll be the first thing with the security. If you want additional to security, you can use a two-factor authentication key as well. In addition as well, your data is backed up. It's backed up every day, and we have backups archived for the past 14 days. Okay. So that's the information on security, which you can find on our website. So let's go straight into it. If you already have access, you just log in as normal. And when you log in, the first thing that you'll see is this. It's just like your dashboard. And what I have here is just the Getting Started series. So your dashboard is basically all the things that you find interesting or important and what you want to be welcomed with when you log in. Now, if we go to the top right-hand corner right here, and we click on Steve Rogers, we click on the little arrow. I'm going to show you the settings. So let's go to settings first. So when I click on settings, what you got is, this is really for administrators. So when we go to user administration, what you can see is you can see all the users of Raynet. So perhaps this is your team. And you can see that various users have different privileges, for example, admin. If you want to add more users, then you just click on add users right here. So that's with the settings. Then we just click on here, back to Raynet CRM. Next thing I want to show you is the profile. Maybe if you're a new user, you want to edit your profile. So you click on my profile, and this is where you go. You got your basic information, standard everywhere else, but your name, your surname, your email address, and you can upload a photo. I don't know where that photo came from. I think that might be my brother. I'm not really sure, or that photo's an awful photo. But anyway, if we go to localization right here, and this is where we can set it to wherever we are. So I've set my language to English. If you're in Italy, you can set it to Italian, change the time zone, even change the format of the date. So if we're in the UK, we're using day, month, year. I think in America, you're using month, day, year like that. Here we can also change our password. This is where we've put it. And that's really, there's a lot more to your profile you can set with the calendars. But that's the basic, that's really how it looks at the beginning. Now, with the dashboard, like I said, this is where you want to put, you know, the stuff that you're interested in, that you want to look at really quickly, like on other apps like your phone. And similar to these panels, like everywhere else, you can make them bigger, like this, just stretch it across the screen, or you can make it smaller. You can also move the windows around as well, depending on where you'd want to see. You might have the most important information at the top and scrolling down like this. So I've got like the analysis pipeline. I've got notes as well. If you click on the Add New Panel button, which is on the top right, this is where we can add different panels. So here we've got quick overviews like my results of my sales, leaderboard, list of activities. And if I have, you know, this panel already on the dashboard, you'll see a green tick right there. Now, if I put my mouse over it, you can remove it. So we've got the business deals as well. This is everything which helps us analyze, you know, the deals that we have. Things for our team, so who's online at the moment. Maybe if you have a remote team, maybe if you're like us here, maybe you'll be working from home. You've got some smart functions as well. These are like really cool. Like you've got these quick links, the shortcuts to frequently visited windows, bookmarks, top sites, and there's also a link for getting started. Maybe this would be good for new users. So you've got the Getting Started series videos, which I have on mine, and the Learning Center as well, where you get access to all documents and any frequently asked questions. So that's really with the dashboard you can add and remove. Now, let's get started. Okay. First thing, if we look on the left, this is where we've got all the aspects of the Raynet CRM broken down. Let's take a look at the calendar. We click on calendar, and really it's like any other calendar that you're used to, whether it be, I don't know, Outlook, Google. It works in a very similar way. If I want to add an activity, simply I just take my mouse and I say, okay, let's look at the 30th of June, on Wednesday, 30th of June, for example. I just click on, let me go back, sorry. I can just click on it and I can say, what activity do I want to schedule? And I can schedule whether it's a task, meeting, event, letter, phone call, like that. I would just click on that and it would already, I can then set the details for that. Now we'll go into this a bit more detail later. We'll start filling things out together as we go along. At the moment, I just want to show you how things work. If I say have an activity, so for example, earlier today, I had a call. I had if I click on that, I had a meeting with the Candy Corp, and it's already finished. So what I can do is simply, if I right-click the mouse, and you get this drop-down menu here, and I can set it as completed. I've had it, it was fine, and I can write some notes. I can say, hey, it was successful, nice meeting, nice pleasant meeting, something like that. Okay, and I just save it, and you can see what happens is it kind of gets shaded out. Perhaps as well, if I want to reschedule a meeting, I can do that, and I can click on reschedule and set a different date as well. Similarly, on other calendars, I can also duplicate. So with this side, I think it's really similar to other calendars that you use, and you'll find it quite easily to navigate through it. In addition to this, at the moment, we're looking at just my calendar, the Steve Rogers calendar. If we wanted to, this is, this is the team, and we could choose anybody we want to and look at their calendars. So let's see. Let's take a look at Gwen. I know Gwen. And this is what her calendar looks like. Okay, so we can choose who we want to view. Now, perhaps we want to get a few more people. We want to organize something. So maybe it's part of our team. So I'll use these. I'm just going to click on some people from these names like this. So as I go down the list, pick some people like that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. I think that's enough people. That's about 6 people. I select and close. And there you go. I can now see on one window everybody's calendar. And perhaps I want to save this for later. So all I would do is I would save the filter, and I'd call this the sales team, for example. Okay, I save it. There we go. We have that as the filter. So maybe we can organize a time together. Okay, and I'll just clear that right now. So that's what we've got for the calendar. Now the next stage is with the CRM is we want to be able to add accounts. So again, we look on the main menu on the left, and we can click on the contacts. And if we go to accounts, what you see is a list of accounts, a lot of accounts here. And as we're going along, maybe people are calling in and we want to add an account. So if we go to the top, we'll see this green circle with a plus in it. And we click on that, and here we go. We can enter the client name. This is a new account. So we enter the client name. If it's a company, we might be dealing with an individual person. So we have those two choices there. Is it a potential customer? Is it a partner? Is it a supplier? So we have a window here where we can decide what the status is. In terms of the category as well, we can see, is it a big potential? Is it an important client, small business, and we can make any notes. Standard contact details here as well. And all we would do is we would save. Save and open would give us more details. Again, I'll show you in a bit more detail later on as we'll set up, I think we'll set up a customer as we go through this. Now, that's great if you're adding, customers one by one. But I'm pretty sure if you've been having your business for some time now, you've already got a list. Maybe you've already got a list somewhere. Maybe you're using Excel and you want to import your current list. You want to import your contacts. So how do we do this? Is if we again go back to the top right and we go to settings. And on this, we go to the left and we scroll all the way down, and we see a title here, a link saying data import. So we click on data import, and we've got the option here of importing all our data. We can either import our accounts and contacts as one or doing it separately. If you click on import, and you can download the template, which you can put your contacts in. So I'll show you what the template looks like, and this is what it looks like right here. This is what would get downloaded when you click on it. So you can see the import templates for accounts. At the bottom, you can see it for the individuals. There's also a guide as well of how to fill it in, so it's seamless, and an example of a filled in template as well. Okay, right. So, and then once it's done, we would confirm the import, and we would upload it like that. Let's go back to we'll go back to accounts. Now, when I'm looking at the accounts, we can see that there is a lot of predefined. We can see on the accounts, we can see the company name. When was the last time we spoke to them? The owner. How much were the sales, the deals, where they were at, telephone number. A lot of information we can have there. As you can see, I have to scroll a bit over here to get the email address. So maybe I got too much information. Maybe I don't have enough information that I want to see. So what we can do is if we click on this plus right here, right at the end, and we get this window, and we can choose what we want to see and what we don't want to see. So maybe I want to see the last update. I'm not so sure. I need to know who updated it. But I want to know when was the last time it was updated. So we can save it like that. So we can adjust the number of columns. Here we have what we call the predefined filters. So if I want to look at all the accounts that's say owned by or looked after by Steve Rogers, I would just click on the name, and we would see here. And we can choose somebody else as well. Maybe let's choose Gwen as well, and we can bring them up all here as well. Okay, so this is what we got for predefined filters. Now, maybe when we want to go back, we can just reset the filters like that. Okay. Now, if we want to add a contact similar to accounts, but maybe we've already created the account, which is for the company, but within the company, there may be more than one contact. So we can click on the contacts, and here we can see all the contacts that we've got, and it works really similar to creating an account, except when we click on the plus here, the window is just the name, surname, email address, telephone number, and that's pretty much it. We can select some category here, maybe the contact that I know likes dogs. I like dogs, so maybe that's why that one's there. We can connect it to the account. Okay, so this is how we're going to connect it to the company. So we're going to be creating the account first, and then as we get to know the company, there may be more contacts, and we can connect it to the account there. And again, we can save it or save and open. Okay, so I'll just close that there. So you see, as we're going along, you'll see that the format is really similar as we go along. Now, when we created the contacts, there's three main types of recording with the Raynet CRM. That's the accounts, that's the business deals and activities. So the next one we want to look at is the business deals. That's your sales. So if we go to on the left and we see business, we just click on business, and we want to click on deals. And what this does, it shows us all the deals that we have with the account. Also shows us who is the owner of the account, when it was opened, if it's a new deal, the stage that it's at, if it was won, if it's a new one, if we're still trying to get it, and also the value. And here we've got the probability of whether we would win it or not. So again, similar as well with the columns. We can adjust the columns here with the plus, decide what we want to see, what we don't want to see. We've also got the filters as well. So we can say, for example, what deals are closed, like this, closed last one. Click on it again. And we can see what deals are open. Okay. So here, those are like those predefined filters. But what if maybe you want something more than what's already standard there? So that's okay. You click on your advanced filter. And so we've got all these options here, which we would fill in. So I'll just scroll up to the top. So for example, maybe I'd say deals which were last completed and they were older than, say, I don't know, 14 days. Deals maybe with an activity after the deadline, we can choose which icon to tick. And if we go down to basic criteria, we can find the final price, maybe say 0. And let's see, and we can apply and save this. If we just apply and save this, see what happens. And what I'm showing you here is how to create your own filters. I'm just saying this is rotten because nothing's happened. There's been no activity. There's no value or anything like that. And there we go. That's what comes up. And this is the predefined filter that you've just created now based on the advanced filter. Okay. If I want to delete it, maybe I made a mistake, or maybe there's something I need to add to that. What I can do is I can just see the X. I can just click on the X, and I can delete the filter. And if I want to, I can go and create a new filter again, apply and save, and give it a different name, like that. So that's how we're looking at the business deals. If we want to get a summary of all this, we go to the business board. We go to the left and we go to the top where it says business board here. And what we get is like it's like the pipeline. So we're going to say reset filters. This is all the business that we have. This is a test account, by the way. So where the names we're just making up, like the second chocolate deal or the first sweet deal, things like this. So you can see we've got maybe have a lot of new deals, go through the analysis and prospecting and before closing. And what I want to show you with this is rather than having a quick way of just moving things around is, for example, if I pick on this one, it looks like it seems to be quite positive. So we're going to move it to prospecting. So we can move it like this, and it goes right here. Okay. Maybe as well, or probably finish a deal. So we can move it like this. So just before closing, and if we click on it, we can go down here and say it was 1. Okay. So that's how we can look at the business board. It shows you the different stages a sale or the deal is at, and we can click and edit them if we want to as well. And we get all the access to the client, to the account and contact information as well. Okay. And lastly, what I would like to show you is the activities. Like I said, there's 3 main types of records. We've got the accounts, we've got the business deals, and lastly, it's the activities. So we click on the activities, and let's take a look at all the activities that we have. These are all the activities that we've got. Okay. Now there's a lot, so we'll probably want to filter it. So same way as before, we can use the predefined filters, or maybe let's do an advanced filter. So maybe I'm interested in so let's look at the type. I'm interested in say meetings, also that they are completed. Also, I want to see the owner. Who owns it? So we click on here. You see the 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots, and I'm going to pick Steve. All right. So what I'm interested in seeing is all the meetings that Steve has had that he has completed. Okay. If I click on the apply and save, I'll just call it Steve. And that's what we get. And you'll see that I've created a filter specifically for Steve. So really quickly, I can see what Steve's been up to straight away. So you see how many deals he's completed, things like that. So the filters are working the same throughout the CRM. Okay. And again, I can delete it as well if I want to, and then create a new filter. If you look up here, you see as we are going along, all these tabs are open, and they will stay open until we close them. So we can close them like any other tab. Or if we go here to the right, we see the 3 dots. It says close all tabs. We can close all the tabs like that. Okay. So we'll go back to this. So now we're back to the dashboard. Now I've gone through the basics of the Raynet CRM. And what I'd like to do now is actually together I would like to create a new record. So actually start filling in information. So we're doing it live, so you'll see how it will go. So back again to the dashboard, and what we're going to do is if we go here to left and right at the bottom, we see new record. So when we put our mouse over it, we can see all the functions that we went through before. So let's start off with creating an account. So we get this window here. Let's think of a company name. Let's call it Vita Life. Vita Life. That sounds good, I think, right? We'll call the company Vita Life. It's a company. I think it's got a big potential. Future health. We can fill in the contact details here. So we just call it info@vita.com. We can put in the phone number, website address as well. Phone number, we can just do this, make something up like that. And with the address, let's say I'm from the UK, so I think I'm going to put in Devon. Oh, Devon. See, and you can see the address has already come up like this. I'm going to pick Devon. Devon's quite a nice place. Now, after we've created the account, we can just, if we want to make notes on the account, we can Maybe I met them at an exhibition, okay, and I thought their stand looked really cool. I thought they could be, maybe we could do something together in the future. So I'm going to just save and open it here. And what happens is I get the account already created like this. And here I can put in more information. Okay. So here we've got the owner, which is Steve Rogers, because he's the one that opened up the account. It's a potential customer. We've got things like the contact source. How did we meet them? Reference, direct mail. You can edit these items as you want. Okay. Or similarly with industry, what sort of industry we have. Again, you have the opportunity to edit the items. We got the company headquarters. All this is standard information in which you can follow through. What's interesting is, what I think is pretty nice about this is with the address, you might want to know where they are on the map. Now, we can either click on this and it'll open up a different page and it'll show you on the map. Or what we can do is if we go over to the left here and we click on analysis, click on this analysis, and we've got all these lovely functions here. But if we scroll down and we click on client location, look at this. We get to see, and this is a demo version that we're using, but you get to see where are all your clients, how far away, where they're based, that sort of thing. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. Let's go back. So I can close that. If I go to the top here, I'll just close that tab. Close the tab for analysis. I don't need it. I'll go back to Vita Live. There's other information. So that's your basic information. If here, look on the right here, we can, if you want, you can upload a logo. Just makes it maybe makes it easier visually as well. You can upload the logo that by click on that button there. Click on other information. We got different categories, different classifications. So we can click here. Again, you can choose how you want to use the classifications and all this. Any attachments? Maybe, for example, it might be a business card that you take a photo of. You can add it here, anything like that. Okay. Now, what we want to go is go back to basic information. We want to go and add a contact. So if we click here, click on the plus right here, and we click on contact. This means that it's connected to the account. Okay, so if we're going through, we just click on the green plus here. Let's think of a name. Let's call him Brian Smith, because that's a really popular name. And we're going to give him an email address, smith@vitalife.com. Like this, and I can save and open it again. I can also got the categories here as well, so I can give more information. And you can see right here where it says account, it's automatically linked to the account that we had, that we've just created. Okay, so when we save and open, we get more details here. Maybe we want to add, maybe it's got another telephone number. We can see the email right here as well. And we can make notes and contacts. Okay. And again, similar to what we had with the accounts, we've got other information, history, discussion. So it's the same format throughout. Now we've done that, let's close it. And I'll just say save and close. Well, okay. Now I've got the account, created the contact. Let me just check the contact. Did I give him I didn't give him a telephone number. I'm going to make another number up, okay? Because before, when I entered in the account, I just entered in the general telephone number, okay? Let's do that. So you can see, if I click on the account, I can bring it back up again, edit information, and save and close, okay, by doing that. Now, I want to schedule, so that's the first stage. So we've created an account, added a contact. Now I want to have an activity. So if I click on the plus and I select an activity. So I said, what did I say? I said we met at an exhibition. and he was really a nice guy. So I want to give him a call. So I'm going to click on the phone, and I'm going to create an activity right here. So I'm going to say the phone call is a nice to meet you call, or first. We'll say first, maybe first contact. First contact. Like this, and I'm going to schedule it for. It's 5:30 now. I think I'll give him a. Let's give him a call tomorrow, right? And I'll give him a call. Maybe not too early, so he's got time to have a coffee. I will go from 9:30. 15 minutes shouldn't be so long, and we've got the type as well. And we're going to say phone. As you can see here, all these are color coded. So it makes it easier to see it on the calendar as well. And again, you can edit your items. So that's how it is throughout. Okay. So I said phone, like this, phone call description. Nice to meet you at the exhibition, for example. All right. We got the record context, which is the feature life. I'm the owner, and then what I would do is I would just save the activity like that. Okay, and you see a new record has been added and it's been saved successfully. Now, what we can do is we've had the phone call. What we can do is if we go to the, we can check, if we want to, I can show you on the calendar. Look, if you go to the calendar, right, and you should see the phone call. There it is, right there. I click on it, and we've got it here. First contact, phone, Steve Rogers. Nice to meet you at the exhibition. Okay. Now, let's go back. So now we want to have a meeting. So if we click on the plus again, and we can create a meeting, go down to activity, and let's create a meeting. So similar as before, first, let's go to first meeting, like that. And we can create it for, say, Friday at 12 o'clock, so we can make it a lunch meeting. So very similar as before, like this. We'll have it for an hour at our place or at their place. Let's have it at, depending on their address, you can choose whether it be our place or their place. Let's choose our place. For example, you see the address that comes up straight away there. And again, we can click on the type if we want to, and maybe we want to prepare for the meeting more about future cooperation, for example, like that. Okay, and then what we do is we can just save. We can save it, or if we click on save and open, that's what we see right here. Okay, so those are the details of our first meeting. We've got the questions to discuss, the owner, the calendar, the record context, the account, what was the meeting outcome, and we can upload any attachments as well. So when we're there, we can click on the meeting. So I'm going to save and close. I'm going to save and close that. Okay. If I go back to calendar as well, I'll show you again. It was a Friday, and we said it was about 12 o'clock. We double click on it, and there we go. It brings us to the same page as well. Okay, and if we look here, we can look at the history of the activity discussions, but we'll look a bit more into that in a bit. What next? So if we've, we had a phone call. It was quite successful because we managed to get a meeting. The meeting seemed to be quite good, so it looks like there could be a deal. So when we click on deal, same thing with the plus, click on deal. We can enter the business deal, and we can say cooperation with the first cooperation. Okay, first cooperation. We can put an estimate of a price. Maybe we can change it as well. At the moment, we have it in pounds, maybe euros or dollars. But because they're based in Devon in the UK, it's going to be in pounds. So we'll just say it's £1,000. We'll say it's a new deal. And the status probability. So here we can say what how things can change. So we've got, it's a new analysis, prospecting, and before closing. If you remember before, when I showed you the business board, we had this timeline and we could move things on that. So this is where we would be filling it in on the deal. So let's say we're prospecting, okay? And the probability of us winning it is, because it's still quite early on, maybe it's about 65%, and you can move this along like this. But the meeting seems to be quite positive. Category, we'll say it's like a new potential. Again, you can choose like this. That'll be the first core operation. We can just save it, or you can save and open. And if you save and open, you get more details here. So maybe we can upload any files here, maybe any links, any photos, any documents. This is all in the first, this is all in the under the deal section. Okay, as we scroll down, there's a lot more information that can be filled in later on. So what we can do is we can just now, before I close it, what can happen is we want to add something. So all we do is we just click on here, brings up a window, and you've got these files here, which you can then just upload. Or perhaps you want to, if you click here, it says more options, perhaps you want to add a link to your G drive or something like that. So you can click on that as well, and everything will be shown there. Save and close, and so far so good. Now let's send them a quote. Seems positive, but they need something right, so we're going to send them a quote. So again, to the plus, because everything's connected to the account in one place. So we'll go to the plus, click on quote, and fill in the order name. So we can say first Vita quote like this. Total price, we said 1,000, right? So we can pick a category. We see it was from the meeting. What we can do is we can start writing here the select the business deal. So we can see here is like first cooperation. So we click that, and we can see that the price comes in already as 1,000. All right. Now let's have a look. So we can save and open, and that's what it would look like. That's what the Vita quote looks like. Okay. Let's now if we click on the 3 dots here, because we want to see what it looks like, we can export it to a PDF. Okay, so if we go to, we can either do system exports or we can do custom templates. Okay, if we go to system one and we can look at, say, you could have it with pictures or without. So let's just pick the first one because we didn't choose any pictures, and you can choose the language as well. So we click on that. What will happen is we should get a window and the quote's being created and it should download. Okay, and we should have it right now. And so if I open when it's, let's have a look. Let's click on it, and there we go. That's what the quote looks like. Okay, there's not much information there because we haven't filled much in. Okay, so let's go back to where we are, and we save and close it. Now we've created a code. We've created the quote in a PDF using the system. Now we need to send it to the customer. So we go to the contact. We like this. We click on it, and we see his email address. So what we do is just move our mouse to the email address, and we double click on it, and it will open up by default your email client. I'm using Gmail here just to show you that it can also connect to your Gmail account, but perhaps you're using Outlook, perhaps you're using Thunderbird, perhaps you're using an Apple, so it'll automatically connect like that. Okay, and what I would do is I would, you see that here you got the email address of the customer, and here on the blind copy is it goes to the Raynet CRM. Okay, so I'm going to put here test quote, test or first quote. Let's put it as first quote. Let's see, first quote. like that. Okay. And you can see the copy, you can see the email. I'm going to say hi, and I want to, hi Brian, and I want to attach the quote. So again, so just go here, like as you would normally do, and I would attach the quote. Go to downloads. Here we go, like that. Okay, send, and off it goes. Now let's go back to the CRM. Let's save and close this. So you can use your normal email client as well, or if you want to connect to Gmail, there's more detailed instructions with the more detailed instructions in the support documents. Now, if we go to go back to the first meeting and go to contacts, and I want to go to accounts. I want to bring up the client again. Let me just find the client so I can bring him up. So you'll get that in a minute. But do you see what's happened on my screen is that I've got this right here as the bell. And you see I've got one that's telling me straight away, look, I've got something, it's a notification. So when I click on that, this is what I get. I get all the reminders, I get all the information. So here you can see your email assistant has received a new email. When I click on it, what happens is I get the quote under the account name, and or I see what I've written in the email. I've also got the signature and template, who the owner is, and all that information. And also we should be able to see that we have the quote as well right here. So if we were to click on it, we would see what we've sent. Okay, so this is what I mean. This is really lovely. So you're not having to flip between two systems. Everything is within the Raynet, and it connects seamlessly with whatever email client that you have and whatever email address you have. You can use it here. Now, if we go on here, if we can link to another record like this, and we can go to here, so we can link it, so we can see the account. Now we want to link this to something. So let's say we haven't linked it to anything. So we need to link it to the deal. So it was our first cooperation. Everything's connected to the first deal. So we're going to connect it to this. Select and close, and we can see it here, and we'll set it. So that means all the information for the account, for the deal, is all linked together on this CRM. Now, let's see. We want to maybe create a task. I've sent the quote, and I want to know what's going to happen. So I want to create a task just to follow up, see what's happened, okay? So if I do the same thing, plus task, and I'm going to call this first, just for consistency, first follow-up, like that. I think I sent the quote on Friday. Give them the weekend, maybe Monday in the afternoon. Let's pick, I don't know, let's say 2 o'clock, something like that. Okay, and this is going to be created in the calendar. Description: follow-up from quote. Okay. And click on the save it right here. Okay, and then if we go to the calendar, we should be able to see it here on the 27th, which is right here. So when we click on it, double click on it again, it brings everything up. Now, if we can see all the details here. So when we click on the Vital Life, we see all the customers. If we click on the history as well, we can see everything that's been happening with that customer. So this is what we've created together right now. We've done it literally in a few minutes, but over a few weeks we can see what's going on. If we click on here as well, we can see the contacts. We may have more than these contacts, and click on business as well. We can see the deals that are connected to the account, and the quotes and things like this. Okay. Now, if I go back to the business board, I'll show you the business board. and I want to click on open deals. So let's see if I just reset the filters. What I can see here is we can see all the open deals in the different stages. We can drag and drop like I showed you before. And we should see, do we have the Viva? Maybe if we can find it like this. You can see all the, like here, that's right, we called it the first corporation. So if we click on here, I think it went well. So I think we're gonna move it to before closing, like that. Okay, let's move it right here. There we go. Now, what if, say, you've got a customer that calls you? Okay, so you can have a system where that you get an incoming call, window pops up, and it can be seamlessly tied in with the Raynet. Okay, so you can get a window. But if someone calls you, you can click on the contacts, and you can, if I click on contacts right here, and I do a search. So I know Brian's called me, Brian Smith. So I do a search like that. Let's see what we get. Get him right here. I bring up his information like this, and we can see everything we want to know. If we have a photo, maybe we could upload a photo of him there with his cell phone number, some notes that we've made. If there's any connections to other accounts as well, like this, again, we can check the history. We can check any other information like this as we've been as we've been going along. Okay. I think that's generally it. That's the basics of the Raynet CRM. Let me just close all these tabs because I like to have it quite clean. That's the basics really to help you navigate around the Raynet CRM. There's probably one more thing I want to show you, and that's like the mobile version of the Raynet, and it's easy to download. Let me just show you. It's really easy to download from the App Store or from Google Play. And what it does is helps you manage your call schedule, your appointments, your deadlines. So everything that you enter into the Raynet CRM is available on the mobile app as well. So you can upload images, voice notes. Works really well if you're working remotely. Okay, so guys, thank you. Let me just go back to my screen. I'd like to thank you. Thank you for your time. I'm a little bit over time, so I'm sorry for that. I'm now 50 minutes, not 40, 45 that I thought. But if there's anything else, feel free to check on the Get Started series videos. You can follow it at your own speed. And there's also the support documents, which will help you get used to the CRM. This webinar has been recorded. So, please look at it again, stop, pause it, and go through it at a slow pace. And if there is anything that you would like or you want to know, feel free to reach out to our customer service. They're really great, friendly people, normal people, and they'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Okay. Thank you very much, and you guys have a nice rest of the day. Bye.